Hi, I'm Jennifer. This is Unearthed Relics, and in today's video, I've got something really old to show off, like way older than the stuff from the mid-century or the occasional things that I find that are pre-1900s. This is really, really old, prehistoric in fact. So stay tuned to see what I discovered this week that's really old. But first I want to show off some of the things that I found at the Goodwill Outlet, in fact. I found a lot of toys, as you can see, and I'm going to dive right in. So one of the things that I was really excited about was a set of puzzles. These are from the mid-80s, and I found them in pieces. So I found the boards and the various pieces down in the bins and dug them out. And it actually gave me something to do during one of the rotations to try to put them together. I realized that I didn't have a complete puzzle for either, but I figured since they hadn't taken that bin, I would go back and take another look. And I was actually able to find all of the pieces for both puzzles. So this is a fun little Mickey and Minnie kind of pirate sort of adventure going on. And then Donald and his nephews here. They look like they're having a little camping adventure with some marshmallow roasting on the back. So those were a great find for sure. I found these fun Fisher-Price toys. I've seen the dog before. I actually have one of these, and he makes the cutest little wobbly sound and kind of almost like a quasi bark. So I think he's really cute. But I was really excited to find this little turtle today. It's in rough shape, I will admit. I was kind of on the fence about whether or not to purchase it, but in the spirit of keeping things out of landfills and trying to give them a new life, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to clean him up a little bit, fix his little shell, and see if we can't find him a new happy home. I also found this little Cupie. She had the most horrible little outfit on. It looked like kind of like a caveman sort of thing, like I don't know, like one of those things where they take the fabric and cut little holes into it and tie a rubber band around it. So not attractive, so I could see why people had passed it up, but I went ahead and got risque here and took it back down to its natural state. So that Cupie I think is pretty adorable. I got this drum right before the 4th of July. I wasn't able to incorporate it into decor this year, but I'm going to put it away with my 4th of July stash. And I think that'll look really cool as like the base for a display or something, or rather maybe even a flower pot for 4th of July next year. So I'm excited about that. I always grab the badminton rackets when I find them, and they are in not horrible shape. They are super light and they make fun decor as well. So that was another great find. I found a fun tin. This one has a really kind of cool pattern on the front, and I also rescued a whole bunch of different sewing machine pieces, like the little, what are those called? Not notions, but the little attachments and things that go on to sewing machines. There was a little note that went along, and actually I'll pull out here in a minute the manuals. So some I think were Singer and some were from a white sewing machine. In any case, that was a good find. I had never heard of this before, but this was called knitting ribbon. I think I've seen some of like the tops and things that's made from this, but it's ribbon that you can knit with and make kind of fun, I'm assuming different kinds of outfits or adornments and that kind of thing. I don't think it's super old, but I think it's a really pretty kind of lightweight ribbon. I found all sorts of cute little notions and things, little flowers, laces, a little hand-stitched napkin, and I just kind of bundled all those things together so I get to like unwrap it and enjoy it at some point in the future. Also found lots of fun like little playing cards of various kinds, and a wonderful stash of old postcards and photographs. So the old like cabinet card styles, different baby photos, children from different eras. I don't know, it says Iowa. I don't know how they made their way all the way to a Goodwill Outlet in the middle of Indiana, but they did, and that was a real treasure. I think I will hopefully be able to put those to some use as part of different assemblages in the days and weeks to come. I grabbed these too, these little year that somebody was born, because they have fun little advertisements and things. They're obviously reproductions. but I've got a couple of those from different years and have used that as a good source for collaging. I mentioned the white sewing machines. I had two user's manuals. It looks to be from the same model. And then another little, this one's also a white sewing machine kind of manual that has some fold out kinds of elements to it. Looks like there's a pattern down in there. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. A little instructional book with some really cute illustrations as well. And then also found a Singer. This is a Singer 401 called Slant-O-Matic. I wonder what made it have that name, but there you have it. Maybe, I'm guessing by the color illustrations here, 60s, maybe 70s. In any case, I always grab the old manuals when I find them. I got this cute little picnic tin. Thought that kind of also had a fun 4th of July sort of look. A really, really pretty doily. This found this cute little box. Obviously the bottom's falling out on a little bit, but this cute little Santa. I kind of remember these vaguely from elementary school. Like you could buy the little kits of them around Christmas time. In any case, I think he's pretty cute. And then a felt ornament. I've been trying to collect some of these because I'm going to try to make these a little bit closer to Christmas. Some postcards. Other little fancy things like icicles and kind of tinsel style pipe cleaners. This was a Hiawatha hat bags and separates. They're like knitted skirts and purses and hats, all kinds of things. And it had some really fun kind of illustrations in addition to the patterns for knitting and crocheting some of those different objects. And some sheet music, older sheet music here. That I think I'll be able to incorporate into a collage. Also a mixing and serving drinks. This one looks to be a little bit older, so I bet there's some really delicious drinks down in that one. I also found a bunch of the old tins for baking in a couple different styles. I love these. I think these are super handy for crafting. I've seen the wreaths that people make with these. I think that's kind of a cool idea too. Yeah, I think there's a variety of different things that you can do with them in addition to being able to bake some cool things as well. So those are always good find, and because they are so light, they're practically free. And I found this, the larger Tupperware was missing its lid, but I find the lids all the time, so I'm not terribly worried about that. This little guy is a little worse. I'm gonna go give him a bath here, but they just have like a lovely little pattern kind of on the front, and I'm gonna get those cleaned up and offer them to my sister. So are we ready for the really old thing that I found this week? And I didn't actually find these at the Goodwill. I found these while I was out visiting a friend for the 4th of July, and he lived on the lake, but there was like a creek bed, and he's like, hey, you know, but one of the things you can go down and do is check out the creek bed, and there's all kinds of fossils. These are really cool actual fossils that are called crinoids, and they are totally prehistoric. Indiana, a lot of it used to be like an ocean area, so we have like a lot of ocean and wetland related prehistoric remnants, so like remnants of life from prehistoric times. So that is the cool thing that I found yesterday. So a little bit older than the normal things that I find. Probably won't use those for crafting. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. I think they're really cool, and it's kind of neat to find something that's older than the usual things that I find, because I do find some good old stuff. So that's my haul for this week. Let's get to crafting.